Hi guys, what's up? How's it going? My name is Samantha and I am the Boho Witch. Today I'm going to be coming at you with a very different type of video than I normally do. Today we are going to go over all 78 cards in the tarot deck and their meanings. So by no means am I a professional tarot reader. I am still learning as well. But I watched a video on YouTube the other day of a 2-hour-long video of this one lady going through every single card in the tarot deck and telling you their meanings. I thought she was actually telling you the real meanings, but she was going through what she interprets the cards to mean. So by the time of me memorizing all of these cards, about half of the meanings that I knew were completely wrong. So I was a little bit perturbed and angry about this, but I'm a very visual learner, so I decided to make myself one of these tarot videos, and I thought that if it's going to help me, it might help somebody else. So here we are. We're going to go through all 78 cards and their meanings, and these are not my interpretations, but these are the book meanings or the meanings that you'll find online. I did cross-reference about 3 or 4 different tarot card meanings, so these are going to be across the board what you want to know to read tarot. So without further ado, let's just hop right on into it. So we are going to start out with the major arcana, starting with the Fool and ending with the World. So these first 21 cards are universal archetypes that represent the pieces of yourself and the laws of the universe that influence you. So these are going to be more your big picture items, and then the other minor arcana are going to kind of be your more in-depth and specific cards. So first off, we're going to start with the Fool. He is 0 in the major arcana. So this card represents new beginnings or a clean slate. This card also represents being carefree. As you can kind of see his demeanor, he's almost about to walk right off this cliff without even really realizing it. Can also symbolize a new journey. You see he's kind of got all of his belongings packed up and he's going off on a new journey. Being very optimistic about his journey. But the dog could also be this card warning you to be a little bit more mature about your journey. All right. Next, we have the Magician. This card is all about manifesting. You see, he's kind of got all of the tools he needs to manifest his desires. It's also a card of as above, so below, kind of mimicking the heavens down on earth. But mostly, all in all, this is a card of manifestations and growth, pure willpower. Next, we have the High Priestess. So this is a card of inner wisdom, whether it be trusting in your intuition or seeing other people's true intent. The moon is a symbol of secrets and seeing what is hidden. It is also a symbol of illusion. To master the outside world, you must first master your inside emotions, creating balance with your emotions. All right, there's that one. Next, we have the Empress. The Empress is a mother. She is very caring and very nurturing. She's also the ruler of love. And we see the Venus sign down here, which is the ruler of love. But she is also very helping and has the best interests of others in mind. Next, we have the Emperor. Now, this is the father figure to our mother figure, which was the previous card. He's very stern and authoritative, likes structure. He is also the ruler of mind over matter. Next, we have the Hierophant. So this is a card of religion, of structure, of society. It's also a card of counsel and wisdom. And the keys represent a long-term commitment at the bottom. Could also mean don't stray far from your path. Next is the Lovers, kind of a very self-explanatory card. This could mean physical attraction. It could mean a good match, a good pair, a match made in heaven. But it's also a card of balance, a yin and yang. Maybe you are falling in love, maybe love is on its way to you. Just lovers, card of love. Next we have the Chariot. So the Chariot is a card of moving forward, taking things into your own control and moving forward. This is a card of stability and resolution, and like I said before, taking the reins and kind of controlling the situation, harnessing the chaotic fears around you and moving forward. Could also be a card of restoring balance, as you see the black and white Sphinx at the bottom. But this is all about you taking control and either moving forward or restoring balance. Then we have the card of Strength. This card can mean overcoming your fears, adapting the strength that you have, realizing the strength that you have, overcoming obstacles, finding a balance between compassion and strength, and believing in yourself. You have that power. Then we have the Hermit. This is a card of going into solitude, finding yourself. Maybe you need to take a break from what you're currently doing and reevaluate. Can also mean a separation of material goods. You see he's kind of in these worn down robes. Be a seeker of truth with his light, but also the light can symbolize that after this self-introspection, you're able to see things clear or see things with more light. Then we have the Wheel of Fortune. This card can mean the ending of a cycle, can mean that greater forces are outside working on this situation. Could also be what comes up must come down as the wheel turns. Also means luck, destiny, and karma. Then we have the Justice card. This could be a card of court or legal matters. As it is justice, you know, she has the scales, justice will be served. Could be lessons that you need to learn. Also knowing the consequences of your own actions and getting what you deserve. Then we have the Hanged Man. Now this card can mean surrendering to a higher cause, self-sacrifice. Could also mean spiritual enlightenment after this self-sacrifice. Gaining a new perspective. You see how he's kind of upside down, trying to get a new outlook on things. And also putting yourself to the test. Maybe you need to take a step back to move forward. Next is the card of Death. Now a lot of people see this as a negative card. I do not. So death can mean rebirth or transformation. Could mean change. Death could also literally mean death or illness, but most likely will mean the death of something for something else to be reborn of it. Could also be crossing a threshold or the end of a cycle. Next, we have Temperance. So this is a card of going with the flow, creating inner peace within yourself, balancing out those emotions, and working on you. Could also mean adapting and taking the middle road. Next, we have the Devil. Also seen as a very negative card. This one actually kind of is negative. So the Devil could mean a toxic energy. Could also mean greed or guilt. Being tied down could be addiction. Could also be fears or insecurities that are kind of holding you back. This could also mean that you are taking control of someone else and kind of limiting their freedom. Maybe you're being too controlling or possessive. And then everybody's favorite card, the Tower. This is another one that is seen as negative, but can be positive in the outcome. So you see lightning kind of crashing onto this and destroying it. So this means that there is an outside force or the universe is breaking your foundation down to kind of build you back up again. This card is a card of reason, meaning that this is happening for a reason. This is not just something that is circumstance or for no reason. This is definitely happening for a reason. It could mean a breakthrough, challenging outdated beliefs. Could also be a card of closed-mindedness. Next, we have the Star card. Now, this card is a card of healing and rebirth and rejuvenation. This represents trusting in yourself and the universe. Could also mean wishing on the stars. And can also mean guidance from above. Now we have the Moon card. Now, whenever you see the moon in tarot, the moon kind of means emotions or things being hidden or secrets or your intuition. So the Moon card is understanding your intent, realizing those cycles and patterns within your life, the attraction of the unknown, and also curiosity and divine feminine energy. Then we have the Sun, which is probably everyone's favorite card in the tarot. This is a yes card. It's a very positive card. It means happiness and joy and warmth and growth and the solving of problems, also doing things for yourself, optimism for the future, and divine male energy, as in the moon was feminine, the sun is masculine. Then we have the Judgment card. And this card represents that the time has come to make a decision. Could also mean putting your past to rest and moving forward. You see how they're kind of being raised back from the dead. There's new life. Which brings me to the meaning of desired transformation, a culminating moment, and evaluating yourself. Then the last card that we have in the Major Arcana is the World card. Now, this being the last card in the Major Arcana, this means the ending of a cycle or the completion of a cycle. A new chapter is about to start. Could also mean seeing the world or harmony within oneself. All right, and now that we did the 21 Major Arcana, we are going to go into the Minor Arcana, starting with the Cups suit. So all cup cards have a base meaning of emotions, feelings, and love, or your intuition and spirituality. So keep in mind while we're going through these next set of cards for cups, that cups will always mean something to do with your emotions, love, or your intuition. All right, so the King of Cups. Now the King represents bringing the power to action. He is the master of his suit. So being the cups, he is the master of emotions. He knows when to express and when to hide his emotions. This is a card of compassion, diplomacy, and generosity. And can also mean, now this one is my intuition. This is not one of the set meanings of the cards. But this can also mean, you know, he's kind of sitting on his throne over these rocky waters. Like, no matter how emotional or how rocky things get, he sits on his throne. He sits in his power. So next we have the Queen of Cups. Now the Queen is the keeper and influencer in her suit. So she is very emotionally vulnerable. She's very intuitive and can tap into others' emotions, being an empath. She is a friend and she is sensitive and understanding of others' emotions. Which brings us to the Knight of Cups. Now the Knight is the messenger of the suit. So this card can mean someone coming at you with a full cup of love or with a full cup of emotions. This could also mean emotional investment, or this could mean getting in touch with your own emotions and channeling them into action. Then we have our Page of Cups. Now the Page is always very young and kind of immature. The Page is the holder of the energy and represents a child or new spark. So this card is a good luck offering, or could be a delightful surprise. You see this fish kind of popping out of this cup. Could also be your unconscious coming up. So next we have the Ace of Cups. Now the Ace or the 1 is going to mean beginnings or a new potential. But the Ace of Cups can mean a fountain of love or fountain of emotions, could also mean overflowing emotions, overpowering emotions, but could also mean a everlasting, inexhaustible source as well. Next, we have the Two of Cups. Now, two means decisions or balance. So this card means being equal. You know, they're both coming at this situation with the same cup, hopefully a full cup. This feeling of this situation is not one-sided. This could also mean a toast, a celebration, or two becoming one. Then we have the Three of Cups. Now the 3 is a number of growth or expression or community. So this card can mean reunion, kind of a gathering, could also mean a happy ending, or investing time in the people around you. Which brings us to the Four of Cups. Now 4 is a number of application and stability. So this card symbolizes boredom or not being receptive to new ideas or outside forces. You see this guy kind of just staring at his 3 cups, not really caring about this other one that is coming at him from the side. So this can mean not wanting anything new or being so deep in your contemplation that you are ignoring the gifts of the universe that they're trying to give you. Then we have the Five of Cups. Now 5 is a card of change and conflict. So this card kind of means either self-pity or focusing on the bad, not necessarily realizing the good. Could be a card of grief or loss, or the return of unpleasant things. Also, another interpretation that I have is you have a chance to kind of salvage what is lost. You see these three cups kind of just spilt over, but he's not realizing that there is still something that he has. You can salvage this situation. 5 being a number of change, you can change this outcome. You can cross that bridge into positivity. Next, we have the Six of Cups. The 6 is a number of harmony and cooperation. So this card represents nostalgia or happy memories, but could also mean that you're dwelling so much on the past that you are missing out or not realizing your future. Another interpretation that I got from this is that, you know, these cups are not filled with water, which means they're not filled with emotions. They're kind of filled with flowers, which, you know, don't really last very long and kind of die. They are pretty, they may seduce you, but they're not going to last that long. Next, we have the Seven of Cups. Now, 7 is a number of exploration or spirituality and wisdom. So this 7 of Cups could mean illusion, fantasy, kind of daydreaming about these things. It could mean materialism. You know, these are all kind of items instead of water, which is emotion. But could also be a card meaning you can manifest anything that you wish for, or that you have a range of choices, or that fantasy can kind of lead you into trouble. Then we have the 8 of Cups. Now the 8 is a number of action and also change. So we kind of see this guy walking away from his cups. So this is a card of walking away or abandoning or kind of leaving your sad situation behind. Can also be a card of self-discovery and working on yourself. And then we have the 9 of Cups. Now 9 is a number of inspiration, idealism, or fulfillment. So this card can mean being content with what you have. You know, he's kind of just sitting there. He looks all drunk from his cups. This could mean emotional stability, wishing for something, or it could simply mean to indulge in all the joys of life, or taking your situation for granted, depending on how or what you ask. Then we have the last card in the suit of cups. So this is the 10 of Cups. 10 is a number of completion and renewal. So this card is a card of emotional satisfaction, kind of happiness or abundance all around, your wishes coming true, harmony in the family, or a deep sense of unity with the world around you. All right, and moving on, this brings us to the suit of the Pentacles. Now, the Pentacle cards have an underlying meaning of wealth, material things, career, or school. So just remember that as we're going through these next cards. First, we have the King of Pentacles. Now, the King is the master and action taker of the suit. So this card has the energy of a very strong father figure. You know, they're very abundant, they're very stable in their power. This card represents human ambition, but also giving back and caring, and not being greedy with all that you have. Next, we have the Queen of Pentacles. Now, the Queen is the keeper or influencer in her suit. So this card is also a card of abundance or prosperity or being financially secure. But you see her feet on the ground. She is humble and very grounded. She is not letting all of this materialism or wealth get to her head. She is blessed in domestic talents and very practical. Next, we have the Knight of Pentacles. Now, the Knight is the messenger of the suit. Now, of all the knights, this is the only one that is kind of standing still. He's not moving anywhere. He's not going anywhere, because Pentacles are a card that is kind of slow going. But the Knight of Pentacles is relentless in the pursuit of what they want. It may be a long and hard path, but they are not giving up, because that is not an option. They are being very diligent and efficient. Could also be a card meaning get back on that horse. Which brings us to the Page of Pentacles. Now, the Page is the holder of the energy for that suit, but they are childish and kind of have a new spark. So the Page of Pentacles means kind of your starting effort. You may be a student kind of just starting out. You may have a new offer coming in. This could be a new venture that brings you luck or opportunity. Could also be a card of dreams and desires. Then we have the Ace of Pentacles. Now, Ace, again, is the potential or the beginning. So this card can mean a resource coming your way. Could be a card of abundance, allowing for growth. Could also be an offer in the sense of a promotion or something that's gonna kind of lead you into that next phase or next path of your life. So kind of bringing opportunity for prosperity or the perfect gain. Next, we have the Two of Pentacles. Now, Two is a card of decisions, balance, or partnerships. So you can kind of see he is juggling these two different pentacles. So this card can be a card of juggling or balancing different ideas or things, trying to be as graceful as you can. This could also be a card meaning that you have to adapt to change or that you have to deal with opposing forces. Now we have the Three of Pentacles. So 3 is a number of growth or expression. This card represents teamwork, kind of collaboration, having a job well done, or coming together for a greater purpose. Could also mean building trust. Which brings us to the Four of Pentacles. Now 4 is a number of application and stability. So you see this guy, he's kind of holding on to this pentacle or this coin with dear life. He is not wanting to let go. This could be a card of greed, or this could also be a card of kind of protecting what you've built for yourself or what you've earned. Kind of conserving your money or being smart with your money. Then we have the Five of Pentacles. 5 is a card of conflict or change. So you kind of see these guys out in the cold. They feel like they've been shunned. So this is a card of either poverty or your need to be resourceful. And you know, as if you express those needs, there's someone inside that can help you. Like, there is help if only you ask for it. Then we have the Six of Pentacles. So 6 is a number of cooperation or harmony. Now this card is a card of balance, or kind of the give and take aspect, but also understanding that your good situation that you are in can flip and change at any moment. This is also a card of sharing and charity. Next we have the Seven of Pentacles. So 7 is a number of spirituality and wisdom. So this card kind of has the energy of seeing the results of all of the hard work that you have done, but there's still a little bit more work that needs to be done. So you need to stay diligent and you need to persevere through this. Could also mean seeing all of the work that you have done and kind of wondering and looking for the next step. Then we have the Eight of Pentacles. 8 is a card of regeneration, action, and change. Now the energy that we have surrounding this card is hard work, lots of hard work. Kind of buckling down, maybe getting all of your ducks in a row, and just working very hard and trying to be stable. Then we have the Nine of Pentacles. 9 is a number of fulfillment and inspiration. So this card means reaping the rewards of everything that you've worked hard for. You know, she's standing there very alone, very independent. She has a lot of self-love and just very happy with everything that she's created around herself. Then we have the last card in this pentacle suit. We have the 10 of Pentacles. 10 is a number of completion and renewal. So this card means abundance in all forms of your life. Kind of the culmination of your life's journey or your life's work. You know, you kind of have this perfect balance. You're very happy. Could also mean legacy or inheritance, and just being abundant in all forms of your life. And with the ending of that suit brings us into our next suit, which is going to be the suit of Wands. Now, all wand cards have a underlining meaning of your creativity, your desire, and your will, which is your motivation or drive. So just remember that as we go through these next 10 cards. So first we have the King of Wands. King is the master and action taker of his suit. Now this card represents having a great vision, being an entrepreneur, having the drive and knowledge to create your vision. Can also mean taking initiative and overcoming those challenges. Next we have the Queen of Wands. Now the Queen is the keeper and influencer of her suit. So energies that surround this card are determination, being a friend, which I take as this kind of black cat down here, having courage through adversity, inspiring others, knowing what you like and what you dislike, and being passionate about it. Next, we have the Knight of Wands. Now, the Knight is the messenger or bringer of news for his suit. Now, this card can represent being on the pursuit of a vision that you have, kind of going on a new adventure. They have a fearless nature, but can also be impulsive. Then we have the Page of Wands. Now, the Page is a holder of their card's energy. So this card can represent being on the brink of a new creative project, being enthusiastic about that, taking action. Can also mean falling in love or finding a new way of expressing yourself. Then we have the Ace of Wands. So the Ace or One is all about beginnings or the potential. So this card can represent a new creation, a new intention, the spark of an idea, your journey to make these desires a reality, or a starting point. Then we have the Two of Wands. The Two is a card of decision and balances. So this guy is kind of looking out. He is looking at all of his different options that he has, seeing all sides of a situation. He is making plans and turning his vision into a reality. Which brings us to the Three of Wands. Now 3 is a number of growth and creativity. So you see this guy is kind of looking ahead. He's ready to expand, ready to discover something new. They're at the point now where they are turning their dreams into concrete plans, but also seeing all of the possible obstacles and outcomes and being diligent at the same time. Then we have the Four of Wands. Now 4 is a number of stability and application. So this card can mean a large gathering, a reunion of some sorts, a celebration of harmony and good relationships. Could be a card of community, agreement, or homecoming. So just all around a very good energy card. Next we have the Five of Wands. Now 5 is a number of conflict and change. So you kind of see all these guys kind of just going at it. This could be a card of confusion or chaos. A lot of fighting. Could also mean competition. Could also mean that you're struggling in a situation from kind of all points and all sides, or that something is kind of all bark and no bite. But 5 is a number of change, so things can get better from this. Now we have the Six of Wands. Now 6 is a card of cooperation and harmony, and the Six of Wands represents victory, success, celebration, or recognition or a public reward for the job well done. Then we have the Seven of Wands. 7 is a number of spirituality and wisdom. Now this can be a card of either overcoming your obstacles or kind of building up a defensive or being on the defensive. It is a card of maintaining control and overcoming your challenges or obstacles. Then we have the Eight of Wands. 8 is a number of action or change. So you see all of these wands kind of coming at you. This is a card of rapid action, of speed, of haste, an unstoppable energy, or the overflow of energy. Then we have the Nine of Wands. 9 is a number of fulfillment and inspiration. So this card represents the kind of last stretch or last step that you need to take. You are so close to victory after battling and all of your hard work, but there's still a little bit that needs to be done. You still need to be a little bit resilient. You see how this guy is kind of tired. He's hunching over his wand or his staff. So you're at the point of reaching exhaustion. You're not quite yet there, but you're getting tired. Then we have the last card in the suit. We have the Ten of Wands. Now 10 is a card of completion or renewal. So this card means either things are too intense, you're feeling very burdened, either maybe somebody is demanding too much of you, or you've just built up too much responsibility from this project that you've been doing. You feel that you have to keep going to reach your destination, but 10, this is the ending of a cycle. This is the completion. You can lay these swords down. You can lay these burdens down. Oh my gosh, guys, we are almost done. Holy moly. So this brings us into our last suit, which is the suit of swords. So all of these sword cards kind of have a underlining meaning of, so all of the sword cards have a underlining meaning dealing with the mind, your thoughts, your reason or logic, and action in the spiritual world. So remember that as we go through these next 10 cards. So first in our suit, we have the King of Wands. Now King is the master or action taker in his suit. This card is a card of decision and judgment, also being very stern, kind of using that sword to cut through lies and cut through deception, and just being an incorruptible pillar of strength. You see he's still dressed in all of his armor, he is still portraying a very strong force. Next, we have the Queen of Swords. Now, Queen is the influencer or keeper in her suit. Some may see her as being cold-hearted sometimes, but that's just because she is very sharp of her mind and wit. She's very good at analyzing things and organizing things and being very perceptive. Next, we have the Knight of Swords. The Knight is the messenger or news bringer in his suit. This card is a card of unhinged inhibition. See, he's kind of going out. He knows what he wants. He's being very strong, but could also be an overwhelming idea. This could also be a warning of thinking things through before you go and rush into them. Then we have the Page of Swords. Now, the page is a child or holder of their energy. This is a card of embarking on a new idea or adventure. You know, he's very eager to share and kind of very proud of his idea. They're full of enthusiasm and very attentive. Next, we have the Ace of Swords. Now, the Ace is a number of beginning or initiative. So this card represents kind of that raw strength. Swords are a card of the mind, so this is also meaning having a sharp mind. You know, but the sword is also double-edged, so it could be used as a protectant to shelter, or could also be used to strike down for your own selfish gain. Then we have the Two of Swords. 2 is a number of decision and balance. So this card represents confusion. You know, she's got her blindfold over her eyes. She doesn't really know where she is or what she's doing. So this could also be a card of having to make a difficult choice. You know, you need to have courage. In the original Rider-Waite drawings, these swords are usually crossed over themselves. So this card can mean being at a crossroads within themselves. And to progress, you need to take a stand, because she's kind of sitting down right now. Then we have the Three of Swords. Everyone's probably least favorite card next to the Tower. So 3 is a number of growth and creativity, but this unfortunately is a card of heartbreak, of pain, of loss, of suffering. A card of betrayal, of lying, of cheating. You know, the 3 swords could be a love triangle. Maybe there was a third party in on your situation. This card can also mean that the truth is painful. You know, you are suffering, but you need to realize the strength that you do have. Then we have the Four of Swords. 4 is a card of stability and foundation. So this card represents, you know, putting up those swords or laying down those swords to rest. You know, stop fighting, be one with you, just kind of let things be. Maybe you need to withdraw from a situation, you know, you've put everything into that situation, nothing's kind of moving forward. Now is the time to step back, relax, kind of have some self-introspection, go into recovery mode, and maybe meditate. Then we have the Five of Swords. 5 is a number of change and of conflict. So this is a card of conflict, of fighting, of winning at all costs. Maybe you've kind of taken away your opponent's ability to fight back. Maybe you were being sneaky about this. You know, your actions have isolated you from those who could later on help you out in the end. So this is also a warning card. Then we have the Six of Swords. 6 is a card of cooperation and harmony. So this is a card of transition, kind of trying to leave those things behind and get to a new land, a better situation. A card of moving on, a card of transition. Maybe you're transferring something between 2 people. Trying to leave that rocky water behind to move on to some smoother, more peaceful waters. You're going far to be happy. Then we have the Seven of Swords. 7 is a card of spirituality and wisdom. So this card represents deceit and lying. You know, he's kind of stolen these swords and he's trying to run away from this situation. Maybe you're not being truly honest with people or yourself. Maybe there's a hidden plan or agenda. Or maybe you yourself has turned a blind eye to someone else who has been cheating or lying. Then we have the Eight of Swords. 8 is a card of action and change. You know, but she is not seeing any action right now. She is feeling very trapped, feeling like there is no escape. You know, she is blind. She sees no way out of this situation. You can't see things clearly. Maybe you're severely confused. This is also a card of self-victimization. So maybe you have kind of put yourself in this situation and you need to realize that. Next, we have the Nine of Swords. 9 is a card of inspiration and fulfillment. So this card kind of represents, you know, those things looming over your head. You're overthinking. Maybe you can't sleep. You're having nightmares. This could also mean that the suffering is all in your head. And now we have our last card in the suit, the 10 of Swords. 10 is a number of completion and renewal. So 10 of Swords means that you feel that things are kind of beyond your control. Maybe you're feeling stabbed or backstabbed. Maybe you're under the affliction of something else. You know, maybe you've hit your rock bottom. But 10 is a number of completion and renewal. So things are not going to get any worse from here on out. You're kind of like in the sense of it's not going to hurt anymore. You're at the end of your cycle. Things are starting to look up from here. Whew, you guys, we just went through all 78 cards of the tarot. Thank you all for sticking it out if you guys made it to the end of this video. Like I said in the beginning, this is not my interpretations of the cards. These are the meanings from the books. I cross-referenced to other meanings online, so I hope that this helped you study and memorize all of your tarot cards. If you guys enjoyed the video, please let me know by giving me a thumbs up. And comment down below also what you thought, if you have any other tips or tricks on how to read tarot or learning to read tarot. I would definitely be interested in that, so let me know. But yeah, thanks for hanging out and thanks for watching. And as always, be kind to each other, do what you will, but harm none. All right, bye guys.